So after the last vehicle was actually something massively stupid, this Touareg, that actually did pretty well. I did have another car planned, however, when I went through recording, the video corrupted, and I kind of did forget what car I was actually going for, so I thought I'd choose something that would be a little bit of a treat. And I thought the treat would be this Saab 9-3 for two reasons. A, everyone misses Saab because we'll no longer see them again, possibly in Forza. And B, I generally have been looking at buying one in real life. Alright lads and lasses, I'm Eccentric, and today, Forza Motorsport 4, continuing on the King of the Mountain series. And yes, I've got the Saab 9-3 Aero, and it is genuinely true. I have been looking at getting one of these as a second car. More the estate than this. However, I still really like this car, the 9-3 Aero. Now, of course, this is going to be another four-wheel drive car, so I'm going to immediately swap that on. As well, the engine, if push comes to shove, I can stick in the V6 turbo from the Saab 9-3 Turbo X. Right, okay. So I can do that, obviously, of course, we're Aero, I'm not allowed to put on the front one. Of course, I haven't got any affinity with Saab at the minute, which I think is wrong of me. I need 235s. Yeah, so upgrades are going to be quite expensive. I'm going to be going through a fair amount of money upgrading this Saab. However, you know, I'm hopefully be able to get some of that back. Right, okay, so we're currently sitting in B class. I have to see how much it potentially... Hang on, let me just have a look. Okay, there's a potential we might need to swap over the engine. Let's see what we getting out of these. I might be able to sell these parts. Yes, right, okay. Can I sell? Yes, I can. Right, if I just sell all this guff, and then what I'll do, swap in the V6 turbo from the other Saab, and then we should be good. Obviously, of course, I would rather have preferred the a supercharger over turbo, but you know, I'm not gonna complain about that too much. Okay, so I am at that. Do I want a better gearbox, or do I want to put in more power? What I am going to do is, of course, I'm going to want to put in this. We actually do have... We've got quite a fair amount of power in this thing. I mean, yeah, sure, it does weigh quite a bit. 2,000... just, and I mean just, under 3,000 pounds. I could probably make it a little bit lighter by removing the turbo. How much... Wait, that saves 30 pounds, actually. We do get a lot of torque, but I might be able to add... Like, on these parts here, I might be able to add all these, take out a little bit more weight. I'll see. Right, okay, so so what's the power target we're looking at? About 525. Obviously, I could stick on something else. Hang on a minute. One sec. Where was it? I think it was you. Right, okay, so 547 is the target. So if I can get roughly there... I've forgotten what the target was. I think it was 500. Was it 57? I think so. So a little bit down on power, but we do weigh a lot less, and I kind of want to go for this. Okay. Obviously, the gearbox does add a fair bit of BI. Can I... Ooh, okay, I can't do... Right, okay, I can't even put on a driveline. Okay, I suppose it's fair enough. Well, actually, to be honest, they take off a lot of weight. £28 off a driveline. Good Christ. Yeah, that is really damn light. Right, okay. Well, oops. That's the Saab done. 500 and something horsepower. Hang on, let me get the stats back up. I'm professional, I swear. Yes. Oh, 544 horsepower, 482 foot-pounds of torque. So it's actually good power, good torque. 2,966 pounds. So it's on the heavier side of the four-wheel drive cars. However, I have seen a lot worse, and yeah, I don't think it should be too bad. Let's have a look at the... I mean, the concern is 235s all around. It might be quite understeery, especially with no front aero, but I'm not allowed. Let's have a look. No, it's 62.7 seconds, not to 106.2. That's damn good. Sub 3 seconds, 0 to 60. That's bloody good. Braking, 105 foot, 276. Okay, so it's not too bad. Last 4 Gs, they're actually quite nice. 1.06 and then 1.04 at 120. And that's because nothing ever. 201 mile an hour top speed. Okay. You know what? I think this could actually be quite a surprising car. Judging by those stats, I do think this could actually stand a good chance at setting a good time. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to send it to Fujimi Kaido. I've forgotten the name. Okay, here we are at the base of Fujimi Kaido, new hill climb. Gonna have 3 attempts to get the Saab up the mountain as quick as possible. Current leader, the Mitsubishi Evo 6 with a 429.2. I think this could probably go maybe the Volvo S60 pace, that 433.9. I think this could probably go around there. That's my base. Also, I don't think I've ever mentioned in the series that this track's 5.4 miles long, although you've probably googled it anyway, so it probably doesn't matter. Oh yes, I'm loving the sound of that V6. Bloody good sounding car, actually. Right, okay, let's go. Okay, what's the launch like? Very good launch. Okay, so first gear is quite short. Second gear, a little bit more sensible. So that is something to keep note that we have to be mindful of them gears. Right, okay, into 4th gear now. We've got really good acceleration actually heading up towards this really tricky right-hander there. Getting it nicely through. Okay, into the first huge corner. Let's see what this car's like. Actually really nicely planted. To be honest, the Saab 100 miles an hour over the crest, which is that's good going, I will admit. Oh, that was oh, bloody hell, I don't know what I was going there. It sounded like I was having a stroke. Just a little bit too much understeer through there, I think. Just tried to go a little bit too quick through that corner. And yeah, just dragged it wide into the wall. So, do need to be concerned about that. However, the turn-in is actually really damn good. It is actually a really damn good car to get through the corners. Considering it's only on 235s all around and it's decently heavy as a four-wheel drive car. At least I think, I'm trying to remember. I mean, I know some of the much quicker ones, we were looking at like £2,500 and below. I think the RS200 was under a ton. You know, it's actually surprising me. The power band as well is actually really damn good. You know, all I need to be concerned about, well, I say concerned about, you know, first gear is quite short, so basically it's just to get the car off the line and then that's it, and never look at first gear again. But second gear is actually really sensible, especially for the 4 hairpins. I'm not having issues with turbo lag or anything like that, so that is actually very promising for the Saab. Got a little bit of mid-corner understeer through there. I did sort of feel as we were at the lower speeds, that the front end wasn't quite turning in as nicely as I was hoping. Ooh, I have actually got that corner all forms of wrong then. That wasn't the car's fault, that was me completely. However, I am really impressed by the Saab of how it's actually tackling this course. I'm genuinely shocked. I mean, I suppose it feels mad on the acceleration just because the last car I sent up here was the bloody Touareg. But I mean, to be honest, I complimented that car's acceleration. Considering that was, I think, what, 2 ton? Or something like that? And that had really damn good acceleration, so, you know, this compared to that, it's like bloody comparing the acceleration of a Formula 1 car to a bloody trophy truck, or something like that. Probably not that extreme, but you get the memo. But, yeah, I'm really surprised by the Saab. It is actually doing really damn well for what it is. It is not letting the small front tyre widths hold the car down and nicely through the waterfall car park there. Good power band as well as the gearing as well is actually, I thought, be a little bit concerning at first. Not concerned anymore. It is really happy with where it is. I can just find a happy gear and then that is it. I am just off, which is absolutely sublime. Oh god, I got that corner entirely wrong though, so that is something I need to be concerned about. Yes, the turn-in is actually a lot nicer than I was expecting. but it isn't completely nice. Oh god, I had a lick of oversteer there, caught it, and then that just sent me well into the walls. That's going to cost some huge amount of time there. Need to get that section much better on the second and third runs. Definitely. Let's see what speed we're able to get up this uphill straight. Oh, I got a little bit wrong there. 131 miles an hour, which I think is actually really damn good for a four-wheel drive car. I think the average is, what, about 128? I want to say. Probably, actually I might be wrong on that one. I can't remember. I'd have to look back at all of the older cars that have went up, see what speeds they're doing. We are actually not terrible through there. Just got a few more corners to go. One more left-hander into a very quick right-hander. Just a small lift and across the line. Yeah, that was a terrible run though. First run though, a 4:36, and considering there was many visits to the wall in the Saab, that was actually a very good going. It is already beaten the Porsche 997 Turbo. So my guess of the Volvo mightn't actually be too terribly far off. Obviously the Volvo is 3 seconds faster. There's no car that's sitting currently between... There's no cars with like with a 34 or 35. There's a 3-second gap between the Porsche and the Volvo, with just a huge no man's land in between. The Saab might fill that no man's land though. I don't know. If I don't get these runs better, then definitely it will be, and I'll be letting the car down massively. But no, this is actually genuinely surprising me of how good it actually is. Oh, that's a little bit too ambitious through there. I'm now really trying to push the car, because I do feel like there is plenty of speed off it for it. It's just I'm now trying to extract too much of it, and the car can't quite deal with it in terms of me trying to absolutely throw that front end in, and because of the 235s, it's not quite able to hold on to it. So I do need to be a little bit more cautious in that regard. But oh my god, what the hell is wrong with me there? That was absolutely terrible. I'm letting this Saab down big time. I need to seriously shake things up for the final run. I can't be having that, because that's just absolutely terrible driving me. Come on, we can do better. Come on, through there nicely. Yeah, we're getting to about almost 100 miles an hour just before we get to the 4 hairpins, and I've missed my breaking point a little bit. Yeah, I think one thing I am feeling with the Saab is that it just takes that little bit of time for that front end to hook in, especially at this section. I can feel it just not quite wanting to turn into the corner. So that might actually be the problem. It might be actually very nice and controllable. It's just a little bit slow to react. Let's go better through there. There we go. That's a little bit better. A little bit down. Actually, to us, I've been praising the acceleration. I was a little bit slow. It was only 114 miles an hour. It's about 4 miles an hour down on a lot of the other cars. Oh, I turned in too early. I'm now trying to counteract by that understeer by turning in earlier, and it's not working because I'm now trying to turn in too early, and yeah, I'm crashing a little bit. Although that corner was actually quite nice. I'm loving the sound of the V6 though. It's a really nice sounding V6. God, I do miss Saab. I really do wish that they were still going, because the cars are just cool. I really do think the cars are brilliant. But, you know, sadly, the world is not magical. God, losing a little bit of grip there through the left-hander there. I mean, to be honest, that left-hander catches out so many cars. So, it's no surprises there, but, you know, the Saab managed to hold on bravely, just let go a little bit, but is not too bad. Yeah, it's just a little bit slow to react to these corners, which is costing it probably more time than I'm actually imagining it. I feel like it feels like it is very quick. However, it's not as fast as it feels. I think that's really the best term for it, although I did get that section much better this time out, so that should easily save, that should save a good amount of time, potentially even a second, from just that one section there. Let's see what it's going to be like up this straight. So the highest speed the Saab's managed to get is 132 miles an hour up that uphill straight, which is actually very good going. Yeah, I can feel that front end just not quite biting as quick as I would like, which is an absolute shame because it is costing the Saab just precious time. But I will admit, it still is a blast to drive. So we'll have to wait and see. Oh, wow! It wasn't that much quicker. I did get the start really wrong, but okay. I was expecting a little bit more from that. It's surprising me, the Saab. I mean, I know I'm getting the runs completely wrong. Final attempt, I've got to improve it, but it feels like it's going really quick. But then when we're getting the final results, or I think some people already have like their split times, it's not actually keeping up, which is, I think, is a huge surprise to me because it feels phenomenally quick, and the acceleration is actually bang on. Right, okay, a little bit better through that section now. Still a little bit loose, however, you know, I have driven a hell of a lot worse. Let's see what we're doing here. 100 miles an hour. So that's good speed when the triple digits over the red crest there. So not complaining at all. Managed to get the car stopped nicely. Yeah, the brakes are actually damn good. That's another bonus. They are pretty good brakes. That's the back end sort of letting go a little bit of a understeer on the brakes, but I am just able to launch back onto the power, and we are fine. Much better through that corner now. Right, okay. Now I'm starting to treat the Saab fairly. That's what I need to do, is just not make mistakes. I think what it is, now that I've driven a lot more cars up for Jimmy Kaido, now that I'm a lot more confident with them, I'm now trying to push them even harder. So the mistakes are starting to rack up compared to before was being a little bit more cautious. So they're probably a little bit slower, but the runs were a lot cleaner compared to now, where mistakes are just creeping in more and more. However, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I think really this is where the Saab loses its speed, loses some of its time. It's the 4 hairpins. I think it's definitely one of the slower cars around there. We were actually very good through that section though. I will admit that. Are we going to be carrying more speed? There we go, about 116 miles an hour this time. Again though, 133. A little bit of mid-corner understeer through there. I did feel the front end just let go that little bit, which is a huge shame. But it was happens with the Saab using that 4-wheel drive launch though to get it out the corner. I suppose though, you know, this is a front wheel drive to all wheel drive car, so you know there is going to be handling, you know, quirks to have to get around, but it is really bloody damn good to drive. I'm absolutely loving it, really am. Through that corner, probably a little bit too brave, however managed to get away with it, only just. Felt like a rally car there. Right, through the waterfall car park now for the final time. There we go, nicely through there. We are all good. Getting just a little bit of mid-corner understeer, but it isn't too bad. Oh god, okay. Need to, you know, still drive this car sensibly. There's still another 30% of the track left to go, whatever that is in miles. I don't actually know. Yeah, right, okay. Let's get this section right. Let's not unsettle the Saab's going to understeer a little bit. Now we can launch back onto the power through there. Actually pretty nicely, I will admit that. Now we've just got this hairpin for the uphill straight now for the final time. Let's see, Saab. Let's see what speed you've got in you. Let's see if you're able to hit that 130 mile an hour mark yet again. Yeah, it is absolutely climbing up this this section here with no issues. 131. I could probably have broke a little bit later, get to 132, maybe 133 miles an hour at a push. But whatever the case, it's still damn good on the acceleration. Just gotta get it through a couple of corners now. We are getting really close there. 5% to go. We're in the 4-minute 20s. We're not going to be competing with that Evil 9, 6, sorry, or some of the other cars. We are a little bit, only just quicker. Okay, that felt even faster than the previous run. Wow, okay. Well, that is a shock. That is a massive shock to me, the Saab. Right, well, that's its 3 runs. Now let's discuss the car overall and where it's positioned on the leaderboard. So, the Saab has found itself within 8th place, within that no man's land area, with a 435.333. I'm really shocked by that. Really, really am. The car felt phenomenally fast. I mean, I suppose probably a lot of that was offset because the last car I drove was the Touareg, I'm guessing. However, I really did feel the Saab was lightning fast around there. I was really feeling like 4-minute 33s in the Saab, but it didn't deliver. I think, really, the problem with it was it just took a brief moment for that front end to get hooked into the corners. I think that was the main problem. It didn't quite get into the corners as quickly as some of the other cars. Maybe even the Volvo. It's the target I set for that. It didn't. I think that was its main problem. It just, the understeer was a lot. Was actually quite a lot, but it was sort of hidden. But it really did surprise. The acceleration though on the Saab was absolutely sublime. There was insane levels on it. I think this is one of the faster accelerating all-wheel drive cars, and it's done really damn well for a converted all-wheel drive car. But it is what it is. However, that is going to be it from me. Do hope you enjoyed. All feedback is appreciated. If you do want to suggest a car, the comment section is where you do it. Or if you want to join my Discord to suggest a car there, it's up to you. Feel free to say hi. However, that's it for me. Take care, and ciao for now.